All right, boys and girls, as promised, more bird cages. This one belongs to somebody pretty close to the shop, is all I'm allowed to say. This was an SB220, as you can see by the case. And we are, unfortunately, we are out of brand new tubes, so we're going to let them take our test tubes, which are banging pretty good, just so you can use this amp a little bit. But what we've done is this is our full DC power supply. Okay? See these chokes up here? That's got to do with our skullduggery for making the DC work. Okay? On the front of this amp, he can read his voltage at the filament. Now, this is mainly just for the filaments. High voltage takes care of itself for the most part, but what you want to watch on this amp is the filaments. So we're using one of our diagnostic centers, which we've painted the outer color this color. And while the fronts and the bezels of these are silver, we also have the gold to match our gold and our silver to accent our silver. The entire cover of this is this color, and we'll show you that later when it's done. So what we did was, and we got a little touch-up to do right there. So the way this guy works is, same Heathkit SB220 switches, okay? He has one standby off and on switch, and here, this is how he knows when he's off standby. Billy gets out of his cage. That's Billy the Buzzard. That's our logo. So here we go. This lets us check our voltage, our current, our overall power and weight. And at this point, it's used no more than 20 watts. Capacitance on this tube, it really surprises me. It's down like way down by, that's low. Usually on the radios we see a lot higher. The exit resistance is only 1.4 ohms. Well, of course, we're metering a filament. It's going to be short. Now, if we start to see that 1.4 number climbing, we know we're about to lose a filament. If we see that capacitance dropping, we're about to lose a filament. Okay? If we start pulling these bars down while we're talking, or that energy and weight is going sky high, we're about to blow a tube or the power supply is damaged. That's how we hook this we use this diagnostic center in every DC device we design and build. So right now we don't have it lettered, but it is a traditional birdcage wood grain front like we always do. We are going to get ready to letter. It's going to be lettered in gold. This is our input tuning. Load and tune. Very simple. This amplifier will cover 12 to 10 meters. The way it sits, 12 to 10 meters. Now, are you going to get full power on the outer edges? Close. It's more centered where you guys know we center them. So, let's get up here. All the band switching has been taken out. We have all our diagnostic wires going back and forth, and all this needs to be tied up yet. This is our first initial test run. Now, a lot of you guys will look inside this C3500Z and go, well, that's a pretty big tank coil, dude. Well, look, we did 4. It didn't frickin' work. By the time we got done putting an alligator clip on there and going 1/4 inch at a time all the way around this tank, it ended up being 7 frickin' turns to get my 2,000 watts of peak. So, that's the way that ended up. Now, after we show you the power, we'll shut it off, and in the next scene, we'll flip it up. So that's the face. That's what she looks like from the top. Why all the metal tape, 409? Well, okay, there's a reason for that, a couple of them. Number one, this is our filament pack. And what we discovered in this case was that filament pack cannot touch this ground. And if you think about it, it makes sense. The 3500Z power supply is floated. There's no ground from those tubes going. There's no ground going to those tubes directly unless you are running a zero bias setup. And when you key down, it goes from I think it's 3.5K, and it's in line. And you can close them straight to ground, and the tubes will work. However, they will cherry. Okay, if you're not careful. This is a mismatched set of just what we had laying around. Everything else in this box is brand new for the most part. So that's, all, and as usual, and this is on, so I got to be careful. As usual, we hand wind all our chokes. This tank we did not wind. We stole it out of the original Heathkit that this was, actually. Original Heathkit high voltage transformer and our Birdcage style high voltage pack down there. Now, you're looking at an AC box. what in your mind the average guy is going to think is an AC box. There is zero AC power supply coming to these tubes. None, zip, zero, none, not nowhere. The only AC these tubes see is the RF that is being applied to the filament under operation. Okay? And in order to make the AC and the DC heterodyne without going crazy is what these three little guys are about. And that's as much as I'm going to say about that, because we just did it. It works. And you guys can figure, you want to figure it out, they're $2,500. You can figure out everything you want to figure out. Okay. Now, this is a good friend of mine. He's helped me from time to time. We'll just say that. So he had to have something cool. We just got our trademark Birdcage emblem. We got our shirts. And when he turns his amp from standby to operate, Billy lights up. I just smoke and mirrors. Doesn't make it no damn louder. But when you're sitting there smoking a joint 2 in the morning talking on your amplifier, it looks pretty cool. Okay. So there's all that. Now let's check some power out. I got somebody behind me running the gig. We're going to start with this in standby. I'm sorry about the floating, guys. We got tripods coming. So this is a 1,000 watt slug. Once again, coaxial dynamics. And coaxial dynamics installed, coaxial dynamics certificate of calibration on all these scales. Okay, we are on peak. We are driving it with the 1,000 watt scale. We're driving it with this old, and when I say old, I mean old, 4-tube mobile Bandit. So when we key, you're going to hear the inverter here, but you don't hear it on here. He is giving us, go ahead and give that a key and an ah. Okay, if you're giving about 175 watts of peak. Not even, close. So now, we're going to go to the 5. First, let's go to the 2,500 watt scale. We're going to turn Billy on. Birdcage is engaged. We are still on low power. This works just like it did in the 220. Keep in mind, guys, 5,000 watt PEP scale, let her have it. Or 2,000 watt. There we go. Now, to the left, I apologize. To the left is 2,500 watt scale. Do it again. That's 2,250 watts of peak. And we've got it set for a 100. Got it set for a 100 watt deck key. Now, he just did all that silliness. Where's the cherry, guys? You ain't going to pop this one's cherry with a matched set of tubes. You'll never do it. So there it is. All it is our Birdcage 1000. A pair of 500 watt RMS tubes. I don't care that it's PEP and $2,000. That don't mean nothing and no, never mind. That's just a measurement. And let's do it. I'm going to give you guys this lecture one more time real quick. If I build 2 amplifiers, 2 50-watt RMS amplifiers, but I make one PEP at 100 and the other one PEP at 125, which one's going to be louder? They're both still only doing 50 watts, guys. The PEP is a unit of measurement that pertains to how loud is your carrier. Simple. How loud is your real power? Your real power doesn't change unless you go to playing with drive and this and that. This one has a high-low switch merely because we use the original Heathkit 220 high voltage transformer. Normally, let's go on high for a minute. It gets ugly. 2,500 watt scale. Do it. Good. He's smashing 2,500, dude. I don't even want to play with it up there. You're killing me. So, there she is. Another Birdcage 1000. In the books, we are getting ready to build a Birdcage 500 for Mr. North Star up here in Chicago. We are getting ready to put a Birdcage 500 in Pennsylvania. 2 of them in Pennsylvania. So Birdcage is catching on, guys. We do have T-shirts now. We will have hats pretty soon. And if you are talking on an antiquated, we have a new slogan here. This place is where old school technology comes to meet new world innovation. Period. We take what was cool 40 years ago and we make it cool again. and viable for what we pray is another 40 years. So this gentleman, I know he's happy with it, because if he ain't, I'll slap the teeth out of his mouth. No, I won't. I love him. But he's happy with it. I'm happy with it. The first one. Now, you guys know we don't have a standard case. Anybody who's ever seen me build something knows I will take the parts pile and rape it, and I will build you something. I'm starting to get requests for, well, okay. We are looking at some standardized casing, but don't get your hopes up, because as long as I got a free empty box sitting here, that's what we're going to build your amp in. I don't care. Now, this one we tried to make look as cool as possible for my part-time helper sometimes when he's here. But, you know, all Birdcage amps will come with this. Okay? This little guy, if we can find an easy and inexpensive way to make it and just stab it in like this thing, we'll probably put him on there. Other than that, if you'd like something with a Birdcage emblem on it, give us a call, 708-515-1480 at the shop. Central Standard Time, 10 to 5, and we'll get you a t-shirt, a hat, or how about a fucking Birdcage 1000 to go with that t-shirt or that hat. All right, guys, thanks a lot. We'll put some pictures in this thing so you can see, you know, some of the... This is another one we haven't had time to document its construction, and I apologize, but that's about to change. We've got some help in our media department. I have a media department now. 2 years ago, I was fixing radios on my kitchen table. Now I got a freaking media department, YouTube channel, website, eBay store, and the Birdcage has been... We also now have mobile solid-state Birdcages. 3 and 5 pill models. Give us a call if you want to talk about those. So there it is, guys. Birdcage 1000, product of 409 Radios. I'll say it again. Where old school technology meets new world innovation. Go on and get you some. Wash your damn hands. Stay safe. Nothing but love. We'll see you.